Hi everybody, welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second attempt to start This Is Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Well, no, special victims would mean that they need to be touched with kid gloves because of the contents of the case. So this is the stupid victims unit because no one in the case knows what they're doing.
Todos son tontas.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just whoops.
Oop.
Let's just
we kept that down for too long.
Yeah.
You're right. It was a cold night and the fog was thick as grits. So once I finished setting up my camera, I got back in the car. Still, I brought my binoculars with me. When I heard that noise out on the lake, I looked with my binoculars. See? No problem. Well, that's not higher quality than the camera.
You use binoculars. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. This one better be good.
This is gonna be finicky as well, isn't it? I bet you it is.
Most likely.
We need to slowly get to the point.
We need to eke out more stuff from her. I think this is another time in which we have to just keep pressing everything until she basically changes something.
I'm gonna start
because there's
here.
nothing that's directly faulty about this. Why are we starting on the second one?
Oh.
It's gone automatic.
Because he's gonna start penalizing us.
Issue?
Oh, sorry.
Camera has nothing to do with this. Objection sustained. He's not letting her answer anything. Still, I brought my binoculars with me.
Okay, so want to go back to the first one then?
Sure. So, how could you see Edgeworth? Now just
hold your horses for a second. You hasty Yank types never find a gal where I'm from.
defense attorneys have trouble with that as it is.
Well, they keep dying. Your honor to be fair.
Out of all of the defense attorneys that we know of in this case, okay, in this entire game series, out of the 7 we meet,
none of them.
4 of them are dead by the start of the 5th game.
And one has a child and still no visible significant other.
Nobody loves me.
Nobody knows the sorrow. I think Karma would let that stand just because it insults Phoenix.
When I eventually got back into my car, still have my binoculars with me. Binoculars? Yeah, binoculars. Yesterday you mentioned you were out looking for shooting stars, correct?
Well, yeah.
Wouldn't you need a telescope, not binoculars for that?
She's got a point.
I have doubts about your camera, too.
She's not looking up at the ground, because that's not where the camera's pointed.
She's looking up at the ground.
Up at the ground. I stand by what I said. It makes about as much sense as the rest of this case.
Was that really used to take pictures of meteor showers?
Because there would be evidence of it in the picture reel.
Yeah. Cameras are relevant to the case.
No, that's a lie. We have a photo of the crime scene. This camera is the only thing you've got.
You can't say that for certain. Mr. Wright, is the camera really relevant to this case? If you believe it is, you may continue with the line of questioning. But know this. If you find nothing, there will be consequences. Well, Mr. Wright? Do you wish to push further about the camera? I believe we do. Because it usually...
say with very shaky confidence, as with everything involving Fee, and you try, because you never know what's actually important and what's just another cog in the wheel.
Yeah, I have...
So do we save here or do we save down here?
Just save on 3. All I'm gonna say is that I have been very careful, not like watching footage of this case in particular, and I'm mostly just going with memory, except for like a few things that I had to look up, because I wanted to remind myself of certain parts of this case.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be completely like in the dark about this one.
Because this camera is insanely important. This camera reportedly has evidence that it was the only boat on the lake. This photo is one of the only points of evidence Von Karma has. Is the photo and the bullet with the gun. If we can get rid of the photo early on, then when we loop back to this point, we can just remind people that, hey, this camera happened to get this because it was pointed in the center of the lake.
Yeah. I think we know where we need to go with this fairly well, so let's just... It's time to make it or break it. Camera is of utmost importance, Your Honor. It is perhaps the key to this entire case. Therefore, I will continue with my line of questioning. Oh, they were a little bit.
I think you went a little bit overboard there too, and Karma's about to call your bluff on that.
Very well, Miss Hart. You will testify to the court about the camera.
Yeah, I hear ya. The camera was set up to take pictures of a meteor shower. And we assume we press this.
Miss Hart, what made you choose that that lake to take photographs?
This is the important
meteors.
statement right here.
You know the fog gets thick on that lake. It's not very suited for stargazing.
Yeah, well, you see, I guess I wasn't thinking too straight, huh?
Mr. Wright, I will not have you badgering my witness because of her challenged intellect.
Now wait a minute.
Continue with your testimony. You were saying how it is that you saw Edgeworth. No unnecessary comments, please.
I looked with my binoculars. I'm really hesitant about pressing stuff in this case because Von Karma's super touchy.
If there was heavy fog, how could binoculars change that at all?
What do you mean?
Even binoculars can't see through fog. But you say you saw him clearly.
I did, yeah.
Enough. There's no room to doubt her testimony. Sounded pretty doubtful to me. I have to find a clear contradiction first. I don't care how many Von Karmic objections I get. I'm gonna find a hole in this testimony, even if it's the last thing I do.
How could the binoculars show her more than the camera did? Okay. Oh, that's
I
the wrong
believe
one.
what we have to do is, yeah, so it's obviously gonna be her new statement.
Which one?
Well,
There's
it's
like
the one
5.
talking about the meteor showers.
Okay.
And we obviously know her camera was not set up for that. So...
Do we go with this?
Oh.
Because because it's
I
facing
think I know
the
what-
lake. It's facing the lake. It's not facing the sky, which it should be.
Then do you think we should go with the photo then? To show us, like, why would the camera be pointed at the lake if it's
Check this. So she's right there.
Yeah.
It's pointed right in the center of the lake. She happens to be looking exactly where the boat is, which by this point I think is the only coincidence in this entire case. So
do you think we should present the camera and say that it wasn't designed to pick up
let's see if it'll do that.
meteors, or the photo to say it's clearly pointed at the lake, not at the sky?
Well, either way, I think the camera's going to give us either one of those, if it will actually let us do that.
Sure.
Oh! That was it.
You were photographing shooting stars, but that's a lie.
Says who? Says you.
I saw the camera you set up yesterday. It was pointed directly at the lake. You would have to point a camera upwards to take photos of the stars, Miss Hart.
I don't even think you're from the university, or you were.
Well, no, she's actually a photography student, so it's that much we actually do know.
Okay. I'd just say her entire motive is suspect. Just tell us that you were trying to get pictures of the Loch Ness Monster for a school article, which is actually probably what she's doing. She could just say that and not have to lie about this, but everyone has to lie on the stand of a Phoenix Wright game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
Well, I don't drive, I bike, but...
The witness was not at the lake to photograph shooting stars, Your Honor. Well, then what exactly was she photographing? Show evidence. Your Honor, please take a look at this. What Miss Hart was trying to take at the lake.
Just present your attorney. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh, that wasn't it.
Miss Hart, this is what you were trying to photograph. What's this? A newspaper article?
Or would it have been better to go with the two guys in the boat?
Oh, we're here.
Mm.
Gordy. Oh, the sighting at Gourd Lake. Well, Miss Hart.
I never heard of no lake monster. You got proof or something? Let's see you prove that. I was down at the lake trying to photograph Gordy.
I have proof. And I think it's the camera. Yeah, I think what the game actually wanted you to do
Wasn't a roundabout
is
way to
present the photo, which, by the way, this is what I've actually been looking up the entire time, because this was the part that stumps some people.
Because they present the photograph, but we can't prove she
In
was
the original version of the game, they would present the camera. And it didn't want you to present the camera, it wanted you to present the photo to talk about how the camera was set up. So in every release afterwards, they made it so you could also select the camera at that point.
Just cut out all that fluff.
Yeah, so...
Oh yeah, because it's set to automatically take a picture when a loud noise is detected. So she's not there for meteor, she's there for the explosion that the lake monster makes. Because it's not a lake monster, it's probably a log, as you were saying.
Yeah. The proof, Miss Hart, is your own camera. The camera is set to take photos in response to loud noises, correct? Thus, this photograph here was taken when a gun fired on the lake.
Or even near the camera.
And here, this article about Gordy. According to this article, Gordy made a loud noise when it emerged. Well, you were trying to photograph Gordy, weren't you? That's why you had your camera to respond to loud noises.
What does this have to do with the case, though?
Nothing. But the thing is that he is still bringing up evidence to show that this witness has lied on the stand multiple times and cannot be trusted fully. I see. I too thought it was a little strange. Yeah, sure. Well, Miss Hart, you were camping there trying to take photographs of Gordy, weren't you?
Yeah. Not bad. Are all you lawyers that smart? So, smart boy, I was down there trying to photograph Gordy. You got me. So what?
Huh?
That don't change what I saw, does it?
Exactly. What you just used several precious minutes of our time to prove is nothing more than the witness is an idiot who thinks monsters exist.
Hey!
But, as she so succinctly said, so what? It changes nothing. Not true. You were hiding the whole reason for Gordy, you're hiding the whole thing about Gordy for some reason.
Because it makes a loud explosion, so we suddenly can't prove that that those bangs came from a camera. Oh, sorry, came from a gun.
Yes. What could it have been? Whatever it is, I'm getting to the bottom of this. Miss Hart. Why did you hide the fact that you were searching for Gordy from the court? Please revise your testimony.
Right, fine, I'll testify. It won't change nothing, though.
Something will change. It has to. And I'm gonna spot it.
He knows we're close. Because we brought all the pieces, but the game won't last.
I have evidence to prove that. I know who Gordy really was. Karma goes, objection, this means nothing. And he goes, I'm going to prove that Von Karma was Gordy. And then he starts freaking out going, no, he has found me.
He's found out my secret double life masquerade.
Yes, a lake monster.
The lake monster to stalk my adopted son / protege of his every waking moment. Actually, I'm not a research student at a university, so everything you told us was a lie. Everything is a lie. If everything's a lie, we certainly can't trust her testimony of what she actually saw, because she's a consummate liar.
Yeah, she is a habitual liar, and this is just what she does.
I'm an investigative photographer. Imagine what a scoop it'd be if I got a picture of that monster. That's why I was camping out by the lake. In the best spot to see the entire lake all at once.
Yeah.
So her camera was guaranteed to catch something. But that's all I was hiding. When I heard that bang, I looked straight out at that lake. There wasn't much else to look at, so I just watched the boat the whole time. Then I saw a flash near one of the man's hands, and I heard another gunshot. This is what you should have led with. I can't believe you saw them. I can believe you saw a flash of light. Why didn't you start with this? But which man's hands was it? And I heard another gunshot, so where's the second bullet?
Well, you gotta remember that there was an explosion. There was an explosive noise. A light from one of their hands. And the other man went down. Fired 3 bullets. So, in my head, the only thing I could think of is...
There was actually something on the lake and Miles shot at it.
Let's go from the idea that he actually killed himself. Okay?
Okay.
He basically, he's pointing the gun at...
Miles.
He's pointing the gun at Miles. Okay? And he goes, you're not going to shoot me. He shoots up into the air to prove that it's loaded.
Mm-hmm.
And then points the gun at himself. That's where the flash happens. And then he falls off the boat.
Then where's the third bullet? Because it was shot 3 times.
Yeah, where is the third bullet? I wonder if the third bullet will ever show up in this day of trial. Or the next day of trial.
Or the day after that of trial. Okay, so the thing we have to press on this one is the second bullet. Where is that second bullet?
Yeah.
Let's not even try for the third one yet. Let's try for the second one. Because there were 2 gunshots. Unless there was a struggle, which the cameras would have caught.
We need to figure out the discrepancy of the bullet count and the amount that the gun has listed that it has fired.
Because here's the thing. We saw how that camera took pictures. It took like 100 of them, all in one go.
And she only found 2. Only 2 of them were actually, like, needed.
And we don't have any signs of a struggle on the boat. We don't have a sign of struggle in the pictures. Because wouldn't Von Karma be interested in a picture where someone is clearly ripping the gun away from someone's hand? And then pointing it back and firing? Why don't we have a picture of a bright flash?
It probably is there. It's probably there. Well, no, because if you remember, the party popper went off, and then there was a split second before it all started taking photos. So it wouldn't actually get an image of the gun actually going off.
But it would get the first bullet.
It would have gotten the first bullet. It would have depleted the entire
film.
The entire roll of film. And then it wouldn't get the actual photo of the other shot. Judging by how long it took for her to actually, like, do that.
Yeah, and by that time, she would have gotten out of the boat. She couldn't clearly see the men, but she saw the bright flash of light, which happened after the explosion. Now, here's the thing. Miles is not a big fan of shaking and loud sounds, it seems like. So it definitely seems like he wouldn't have been able to fire the gun, even if it had happened, because he'd be too interested in trying to protect himself. I was looking right at the boat the whole time, crossed my heart and hoped to fry.
I believe in the DS release of this game, they actually removed that line.
I heard and hoped to fry.
Yeah. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. The witness's testimony is unchanged.
No! It did change.
Whether she is a research student or a photographer has no bearing on this case. There is no need to waste more time with other pointless cross-examination. I claim the defense is right to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Von Karma's up to something, and I know
He's trying to stop us.
Trying to stop us from figuring out that there is a different number of bullets than ones that have been said. And no one has brought it up, and so he's like, maybe if I just try to make it so that they talk about anything else, he'll look stupid.
Well, then he'll want us to go on about the photography, so he should want us to keep going with this. But he knows by now that Phoenix Wright happens to stumble upon evidence. He's probably looked at all of our cases before and is trying to silence us before we can.
He has an uncanny He has an uncanny ability to bring all the items with him, whatever he has.
I found a step ladder and a parrot. Oh no! He starts to sweat. He has a step ladder. Oh no!
Okay. Doesn't want me to cross-examine her. Why? Was there a contradiction?
Yes, there was.
Very well, you may begin the cross-examination.
Thank you, man. You're the best.
Mm-hmm. You seem sure of yourself if you have something in mind. Huh, that'd be a first.
No, it'd be a third.
Very funny. You understand that this is your last chance at a cross-examination, Mr. Wright. If there is no problem with the testimony this time, we will let the witness leave. I will announce my verdict at that time, Mr. Wright. Understood. Yes, Your Honor.
I like how his entire head just pivots down at like a pure 90 degrees. Unlike everyone else's.
I'm gonna tell you right now, is the reason why I've been very cautious about this day of trial. We are going to press one statement, and we're going to present on a different statement.
Okay, we had to do this in a certain order.
Yes, we are going to press the second one.
This one?
Yes. An investigative photographer?
Why not just say what you do? Yep. You get your photo and sell it to the press. It's that kind of business.
Oh, so you're in the same business as Peter Parker. Yeah, except for I'm not taking pictures of myself.
Unless she is. Dun dun dun!
Turns out that she was also a sea monster.
Hey, I was taking pictures of at my sister's graduation last year, and guess what?
What?
There was a UFO just hanging in the sky.
A UFO?
Oh, a UFO. I was hung up by that. You know, an unidentified flying object. A UFO. A UFO. That's when I had sort of a revelation. I knew I should become an investigative photographer.
I see. Kind of shaky basis for a career.
Phoenix, don't dig the hole for yourself even more.
Also, I think we can actually present the entire statement. I've thought about it, and I think we might actually be able to present everything up to
You
it.
sure? Like 100% sure?
All I know is that that statement right there gives you an achievement on certain versions of the game. Because you actually asked about the UFO. Here's the thing. We are going to press the first statement. If we get dinged for it, we will immediately go to the statement that we're supposed to present.
Okay.
What manner of person then are you?
I'm not sure I'm highfalutin enough to be called a manner of anything. Oh, a manner. She's funny. She's real funny. Whoop, I hit the wrong button on that
just
one.
start pressing everything.
The first hit we get, we are going to instantly.
So, is Gordy really all that newsworthy?
Heck yeah, they even had him up on TV.
I'm not sure what appearing in the local news' Rumor of the Month segment qualifies. Last month's segment was a Bigfoot sighted on Acorn Hill, I believe.
Hey, they also had a picture of him in the newspaper. For real. You know, because people still read those. And like, what year is this supposed to be? Like
2015?
2015. No one reads the newspaper. No one was
Yeah,
actually.
no one read the newspaper in 2015. What do you... Mr. Wright. This is the one fight I do not believe you can win. Keep moving, shall we? Yes, Your Honor.
Starting to get a little bit heated. You looking at what the achievement was?
No, I'm actually trying to look up when the game is set to have taken place.
Why not look at Phoenix Wright's Wikipedia?
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
I was
that's-
camping out by the lake.
Have we pressed this one? Okay.
No, we haven't.
I've already pressed the one before it.
So that's where you put the automatic sensor on your camera.
Yep, I borrowed it from a university professor, who probably also had a hand in the DL6 incident, because everyone else has too by this point.
Yeah, but we haven't gotten to that stupidity yet. We're still on this stupidity.
Woo! It's about to get messy. It analyzes every sound it picks up, and when it gets a bang,
Snaps a shot, right.
yep,
How many pictures has it taken so far?
The only time the camera was triggered was that night. That's a lie! But that's all I was hiding. I want to know what the last... Okay, because I'm very hesitant.
What are you thinking?
I'm hesitant to press... Because Von Karma's really finicky.
Yes. But he's being very silent right now.
I know, because he knows that we probably... He thinks that we probably know.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity... Well, I know what probably happened. I know pieces of this trial. It's one of the most well-known trials if you're not a pre-existing Phoenix Wright fan, but you've heard through the grapevine about certain stuff. You've heard of this case at some point, which I have, and I've heard about 3 other cases.
I think it's time you told us why you felt you had to hide your true purpose at the lake.
Heck, if word got out what I was up to, the lake be swarming with competitors. I don't think it would be.
Competitors?
Yeah, second-rate shutterbugs trying to steal my scoop.
Wouldn't you also be one of those second-rate shutterbugs? Is that the only reason you were hiding the truth?
Well, actually...
Mr. Wright, I will not have you asking questions with no relevance to the case.
No.
Whatever you say, Von Karma. I know you told her to keep it quiet.
He probably came up with a back...
So exactly what sort of sound was it?
Well, I never heard one before, so I can't say for sure, but it sounded like a gunshot. Or it sounded like what it should be a gunshot. It was a lot sharper a sound than I would have expected. There wasn't much else to look at, so I watched the boat the whole time.
Wasn't much else to look at.
Because no one else was on the lake. Yep.
Oh no. She heard a bang and she thought Gordy was out there. Kinda doubt you would waste any time looking at a boat.
What? What did I do now? Why are you giving me that look for?
Definitely suspicious. Maybe it's time for some evidence.
He's trying to speed things up. Hold
Witness
your
continue.
hush puppies pots. I'm getting there. I saw a flash near one man's hands and I heard another shot. Don't press this.
Why?
I have this sinking suspicion that if we let this pass, it'll just keep on going.
What do you mean?
Well, this has happened almost before, too. That we've gone through... I think that if we press that last statement without knowing what we're supposed to do next, Von Karma is going to steamroll us.
So do you think we should present this one, then?
Let's see what we got. Okay.
So, why, what is contradictory to what she just said right here?
Why would she be looking at the boat if she's searching for Gordy? Unless she thinks the boat is Gordy itself. But why would she
it's clearly not Gordy since she can see 2 people standing on
and
the
one
boat.
of the person has something that's shaped like a gun.
I don't know, it could be an envelope, who knows?
I mean, have you seen Miles? He probably holds envelopes like they're guns or something.
It could just be his giant hands, who knows?
I do not think she would be watching the boat if she's looking for Gordy.
Okay, press it then.
Press it or present it?
Present it. Here, I pressed the statement.
Okay.
Miss Hart, were you really looking at the boat?
What's with you? Of course I was looking at it. It was the only thing out there. Any normal person would be looking at it.
Unfortunately, Miss Hart, you're not a normal person. You're Southern.
No, it's because she believes an off-brand Nessie haunts the local lake. What? Y'all want to step over here and say that?
You were camping at the lake, taking a picture of Gordy. Think about it. What would you do if you heard a loud noise? You'd be scanning the lake for any sign of Gordy, that's what. You wouldn't give a boat a second thought.
He's right, though. She's not
Order.
here for the boat unless she is here for the boat.
Order.
Then we've got an accomplice on our hands again.
Continue, Mr. Wright. You testified that you were watching the boat through binoculars. However, you wouldn't need binoculars to watch the boat.
It was close enough that she could still see it,
Yeah.
but not quite. And plus, she can't see through the fog anyways. The binoculars aren't going to do her any good.
You needed them to search for Gordy, and that's what you were really doing. Well,
Well, now that you all mention it, I did sort of take my binoculars and kind of scan the lake a bit. I mean, Gordy might be out there and all.
Miss Hart, are you saying that you were not watching the boat then?
And we've instantly dismissed.
The entire
The
thing.
witness.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. I wasn't fibbing, really. I thought, I could be a witness to a... Hold her in contempt of court.
Yeah.
Take her down to the station.
Congratulations, IJ. You just witnessed an entire day of court completely
Wasted.
thrown out because of this woman.
Von Karma has had us running in circles around her, and he's probably cackling
Think
at
about this.
himself right
He
now.
was going to dismiss us from the case for asking questions about this.
He just wants to be rid of us
Yeah.
so that he can hang Miles.
Yeah, because he would no longer have an attorney, and he would just say, "Okay, I have no one who's fighting against me. I have no objections to myself. So okay,
We're
everyone,
done.
Yeah,
Chop
we're done."
chop.
And that is apparently how he gets every single one of his cases. He doesn't get guilty verdicts. The other person is basically bullied into submission.
And we're the one person who pushes back with just as much force, because Phoenix Wright is a freight train that cannot be stopped.
His namesake is Phoenix, but he is a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's
Well,
just
in America,
he's
his namesake is
an
Phoenix.
unstoppable force, and there's really no object to combat that, because Miles tried and he's failed. I kind of got excited. I was sure I was watching the boat till now.
This was totally uncalled for.
But hey, you got the photograph, you got proof. But now we don't have a witness. And we can't tell who was on
We
what
still
side.
can't see who's shooting in this.
Right. That's why I took the photo and...
Witness. That's enough. You've had a long day. Shut your pie hole.
We've already...
Shut my what? What was she gonna say?
She was going to confess to something.
That she deliberately took the photo afterwards.
Because it was a different set of people on the boat.
No, I don't think that's what that was. I think is... You know what I think it was? Okay, so just going based off of cursory things, I think what happened was she heard the camera start taking the photos. She looked out, she saw the two guys on the boat, and then she basically doesn't really give it any mind, but afterwards she's like, "Oh yeah, I do remember that. Oh, hey, look at the photo." But remember that she has actually 2 photos. She has mentioned this before.
Where's
So-
the other photo?
Yeah.
Does the other photo have contradictory evidence?
Wait a second. Photograph to prove it. Can't really tell who's photo is shooting. She's gonna enlarge the photo.
That wouldn't clear it up.
She said it'll drop the quality of light, but it, yeah,
She's even
this is the problem.
farther away.
We accidentally skipped this piece of dialogue, and I
Oh.
am very, very sorry about that.
That would have really helped us.
Yes.
That would have.
Yeah.
I'm making the Maya face when she's called out on stuff. It's like, oh.
She enlarged that photo. Why won't Von Karma let her show it? I've got a hunch. Bet that enlarged photo shows something bad for Von Karma. This is my chance. If I'm wrong, though, I'll be in prison for Edgeworth, or worse. Miss Hart, look at this photograph. You enlarged this photograph, did you not?
Yeah, I did.
Why has the enlargement not been presented in court? Because it does not exist.
What are y'all talking about? You were the one who told me not to show it in court in the first place. You old fool. I like her just a smidge more.
What's the meaning of this, Von Karma? Miss Hart? Show the photo to the court. Show us the enlargement. The prosecution objects to the submission of this evidence. Objection denied. Witness will show the enlargement to the court.
Here it is. The gun's pointed at Miles. No.
Well,
We can
look at the
see-
hands that are holding the gun, and clearly that's Miles's massive hands, okay?
But they're bald. And that's not
No,
Miles's
they're doing that.
nose.
They're doing that because it's a Japanese detective thing in which they always make the people who they want obscured to be very nondescript humans. So they made them bald.
The nose is what throws me off, though.
I still cannot see who's firing at this. Could it be the defendant? And maybe it's not. Regardless, I'll accept this as evidence.
We're gonna need this.
Second lake photo. Happy now, right? Huh. Has to be something. You asked for the enlargement, you got the enlargement. And little good has done of any of us. And that is why I requested she not show it. Suppose this means that the cross-examination is over, obviously.
We'll need this. When we prove
Now I'd
it's
like
not.
to close the cross-examination of a lot of heart. Done too soon. That was a flagrant waste of my time. Mr. Von Karma, do you have anything to add? I stated everything I needed when this trial began. Decisive evidence. A decisive witness. What else could possibly be
But you
required?
don't have either of those. Nothing, of course, except you don't have them.
I believe it's time for me to declare my verdict. Wait, this is not how it's supposed to go. There has to be a clue in the photograph somewhere. There has to be a clue in my photograph somewhere. It's bad, real bad. What should I do?
Don't wait and see, because then Miles will be declared guilty.
Yeah. So what do you think we should actually do here?
Save. First. I'm sorry, Judge. I just have to save for the 50th time.
So, I have a question. Can't wait and see. So do we have any evidence that conflicts with the this photo, or is the photo itself the conflicting evidence?
I have the feeling we have evidence. I'm not sure what the evidence is, though.
I remind you that it has replaced the lake photo.
Mm-hmm. Weren't
Okay.
they sitting on the boat?
No, they were standing.
That's a rickety boat, though.
Okay. I'm gonna just tell you right now. The only piece of evidence that we can even remotely think of is the pistol and the photo itself.
Mm-hmm.
So we're either presenting the pistol or we're gonna object to the enlargement.
They both seem like the right path forward. And I know what we're supposed to do, it's just on the tip of my tongue. I'm like... We've saved, right?
Yeah.
I do think it's the gun. The gun is the contradiction, because it was fired 3 times.
Wait, Your Honor, there's evidence. Believe we spent enough time talking about evidence.
No, we haven't.
Indeed. I've heard opinions on every piece of evidence but this enlargement. See no point in retracting our steps. Huh, I guess we have to object to the enlargement then. Your Honor, there was something decidedly strange about this enlargement. And what might that be? Mr. Wright, will you show the court what you mean? What about the photo is strange? Okay, here goes nothing. I'll show the judge what's strange about this photo. Okay, get 2 guesses, and then I'm gonna tell you the right answer.
Okay, you won't press it.
No, I will, you get 2 chances.
I think it's... Is it the gun?
No. It is not the way that the gun is, or the fact that it's firing.
Okay. Is it the person firing it?
Oh, you mean like clicking the person? Okay, would you like to know the answer?
What?
It's the fact you can't see their faces.
Really?
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Here, Your Honor. The shooter? I'm not sure I understand. What about the shooter is strange? Can you be more specific? Specific, right.
Wait! We can't see the face of the person who's shooting.
Huh?
It must be the flash, because we should be able to see the people's face.
Huh. That's weird.
If
'Cause
it's not
the
the
weird
flash
thing-
of light, and it's not the obscured face. Is it annoying?
Your Honor.
Did you get it? Did you just click in the wrong place?
No, that's the weird thing. You need to be more specific. And I am. I'm being as specific as possible. Right in his face. I think something might be wrong. Oh! That's have to.
Oh!
Left hand does what?
Miles is right-handed.
Fine, let me show you. Show what evidence conflicts with that. The evidence is clear. The man in this photograph is holding the pistol with his left hand. Oh my gosh.
That's so annoying.
Okay, so I knew everything about this case, except for this photo, apparently.
Well, that just puts us on semi-equal ground.
Okay, the man in this photograph is holding a pistol in his left hand. However, the prints on the murder weapon from Edgeworth was his right hand. Ergo, the man shooting the pistol in this photograph is not Mr. Edgeworth.
He's got a point.
Now that everyone has in the courtroom has quieted down, I would like to reconvene this court of law. Mr. Wright. Yeah, Your Honor? You have given us this definitive proof today. We now know it was not Mr. Edgeworth who fired the pistol that night. However, this leaves us with a rather large problem. Mr. Edgeworth didn't do it, then who shot our victim?
Von Karma!
Precisely. As we have seen, there was no other people on the lake that night. But the defendant could have shot the victim.
Larry is an option.
So, we have to trust Edgeworth in saying that the victim shot himself.
Because there's no one else, because Miss Hurt was across the lake and there's no proof of a second gun. There is proof, but we can't use it, and it's not Larry who was at the clear other side of the lake.
There was only one explanation remaining. The man who shot the victim was none other than the victim himself. Which makes no sense considering the photo that we just looked at.
But there were 3 shots. But there was at least 2 shots fired.
Yeah.
So it's very possible he missed Edgeworth. Edgeworth was going for the gun and the man turned the gun on himself, which I don't believe in for a second.
Yeah.
And I can't, and because there's no proof of it. It would
Okay.
be very obvious from the ballistics of the bullet that it was a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that the victim committed suicide? Yes, Your Honor. I can think of no other explanation.
Because it's not Miles. There's no one else on the lake.
It seems to be the only remaining option. I am so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright, but suicide is out of the question. What? An examination of the victim would reveal the distance at which he was shot.
So it would reveal that it was at a larger distance than 3 feet. Because Miles is suddenly too short, it puts it almost in the suicide range. Because that's a really close gun.
Distance.
You would be able to tell the distance.
The victim was clearly shot from further than a meter away. A meter? That's like 3 feet. I love how they put that in just for Americans to figure out what he meant. There's no way it could have been a suicide.
But then Miles is too far
Judge,
away. Miles is too far away.
He is too close.
Thank you, Karma. Miles is too close.
Yeah.
Cause he's basically at the guy's chest.
Yeah. Are you
I
sure of
could-
the accuracy of your data? Of course, I had already considered the possibility of suicide, you see.
No, you didn't.
Okay. I see. Very well. Allow me to state my opinion. Considering the situation, the shooter had to be the defendant, Miles Edgeworth. However, the prints of the gun revealed the shooter was not Mr. Edgeworth. This is a conundrum. Therefore, I would like to suspend proceedings for this trial for this day.
So Von Karma can encase our feet in cinder blocks and try and kill us another day.
Court orders the defense of and the prosecution to further investigate this matter. Understood? Yes, Your Honor.
He's like,
That is all. Court is adjourned.
This is the first time he's had to fight for a case. December 26th, 1:15 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2.
And we are actually going... Oh, wait. That was a close one. And we are going to stop it for today in our actual recording session. because this was a particularly long episode because I underestimated how long this part would go on.
Always underestimate. It always goes on longer.
Yeah. So we're going to save for now, and when we come back, we're going to be going on to the next, on the next part of the investigation. See you guys then.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.